Hi guys, my name is Giselle. Welcome back to my channel. As you guys can see from the title, I will be talking about 5 things that you could learn from leaving a toxic relationship. What inspired me to actually talk about this topic today was 2 years ago today. I actually came out and talked about my experience of my last relationship and what I went through, and I'll be putting the link in the caption for this video that you can see right here. I believe that everything that we go through in this life is able to help us grow and get to the next level, and if we aren't learning, then we're going to continue to keep doing that cycle in the process. So anyways, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So 5 things I learned from leaving a toxic relationship. Number 1, you learn that no contact is a good thing. And so what I mean by that is, oftentimes it's easy to say, oh, I do know the person that is abusing me, the person that is breaking me down, the person that's bringing me the most harm. But I can speak from experience. Once I let go of that person, it was a very freeing experience, and it doesn't happen overnight. I think a lot of times, in most cases, we take the person back, and we continually go back to that cycle until we learn it the hard way. So definitely learning that no contact is a good thing. That's one thing I definitely learned. It's the first thing that is the most important, I would say. And it allows you to get your peace back, especially with somebody that hovers you and somebody that's bringing you nothing but pain. You're able to get your peace back. For example, my situation, the person that I was with, they were very insecure. From the get-go, very insecure, and they would hover around me, constantly want to know where I was at, etc. And if they didn't know where I was at, then they were bombarding me with messages, which is not a way to live. So once I was able to let go of that person altogether, it gained so much peace from it, I cannot tell you. Okay, so number 2. You learn to rediscover yourself and what brings you the most joy. One thing that you have to be able to understand from learning this and rediscovering yourself is to know that before this relationship that you were in, you have to know that you were happy before them. So just rediscovering yourself, because I think a lot of times in relationships, I know for myself, you get lost in that person, you think you can't live without them, etc. You can. So rediscovering yourself in the process and what brings you the most joy. Again, what makes you happy? What are your passions, your goals, your dreams, your ideals? What do you truly want to do? What do you want to do with the rest of your life and make the rest of your life the best of your life? So, putting that into consideration is definitely key when thinking about the next step. So I would write down on a piece of paper, what makes me happy, what brings me the most joy, what brings a smile to my face, what can I start working on right now that will be able to get me further along in life. So those are some things that you can do with that step for sure. Definitely writing it down on paper allows it to get more into fruition, and you're able to see it more to be real. So yeah, just get in touch with yourself. Again, what makes you happy. For example, in my own life, I was able to just get in touch with my art. I'm an artist, my graphic design, getting back into doing projects for people. In my relationship that I was in, I had no time for that because this person wanted my attention that much. They literally wanted my attention 24/7. So again, finding like I said, that peace of mind for number 1, and number 2, rediscovering yourself. And so being able to find that has been so freeing. I felt so suffocated in my last relationship, so I was definitely able to get that joy and peace back to myself. And step number 3, you learn that you do not need closure. I think a lot of times we think that we need closure from the person that brings us the most pain. We think that they owe us an apology. They hurt me, they did this, they did that, they owe me an apology, why aren't they sorry, whatever the case may be. You got to revert that energy back onto yourself, and really knowing that the best closure is just self-love. Putting that self-love back onto yourself. There's a lyric that comes to my mind. I'm very lyrical. For the people that know me personally, they know that I'm very lyrical. But the lyric that comes to my mind when it comes to closure is, there's a song called Brand New Me by Alicia Keys, and she says in the song, "Don't expect a sorry, I'm too busy loving myself." So she's pretty much saying, I don't expect a sorry from you. I don't expect a sorry from you. I'm busy loving myself. I'm good. And so in letting go, you get this gain of peace as well. And so yeah, that's definitely something to consider. Just, you don't need it. Simple, plain and simple. Okay. Number 4, you learn not to ignore the red flags. I think a lot of times we get out of relationships, and we get out of toxic relationships in particular, and we look back at the situation and realize that, geez, I ignored ignored a lot of red flags, and most times it's on purpose. Again, another lyric that comes to my mind, there's a song by Selena Gomez called Lose You to Love Me, and in the song she says, I saw the signs and I ignored them. She blatantly said, I saw them. I saw the signs. I saw that you were rude to me. I saw that you purposely ignored me. I saw that you embarrassed me in public. I saw that you yelled at me. I saw that you physically, mentally tore me down, etc. But I chose to ignore them. So, you just, again, don't ignore the red flags. There's a saying also that says, ignoring the red flags because you want to see the good in somebody will cost you later. It will cost you later. And a lot of times we lose our best parts of our lives, honestly, focusing on relationships that should have never been focused on. But, you learn and you grow through everything that you go through. So definitely to consider that too. So, again, like I said, to recap, definitely don't ignore the red flags, believe them the first time, and just be able to do better and learn from the last situation and carry it through, being able to really learn. Number five, you learn to believe patterns over words. It is so easy to say, I'm going to change. It's so easy for a partner or a person that you're with to say, oh, I'm going to change. Believe me, I'm going to change. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. It won't happen again, etc. It's usually the dialogue that they like to use. But believing continuum patterns over the words will save you a lot more time. So that's something that I definitely had to learn. You have to be able to believe the patterns over the words. It's really easy to say I love you. It's harder to prove it. It's very easy. Those words are said very often and a little bit too much. So definitely put that into consideration. Just to believe actions. Again, another song that comes to my mind, very lyrical, can't help it. There's a song that's called Say Love by JW, and in the song it talks about this girl that he's falling for, and he says that he pretty much says I love you, and she said, just don't say love, no. I've heard those words misused 1,000 times before. It's real easy to say I love you. It's real easy to put that into perspective and, oh, this person loves me, they said they love me, but are their actions actually lining up with what they're saying? If they're not lining up with what they're saying, there's no reason to believe it. So, again, like I said, number 5, believe patterns over words. Believe them. It'll save you a lot of time. I know from experience. Believe the patterns. So, going forward, getting out of a relationship, a toxic relationship, being able to look for these signs, being able to apply them. So, anyways, I hope this was able to help out somebody in some way. And yeah, I hope it would help someone. I hope you guys liked the video. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And let me know in the comments below if this helped you in any other way, if this was able to apply to anybody, and if you guys were able to use them. Yeah, so just wanted to speak on my own experience, and yeah, till next time, make sure you guys subscribe. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Appreciate it.